We've had this brick for 85 years. We've been around. And to keep a company relevant and to keep a product relevant for 85 years takes a lot of skills. It takes a lot of things to make a little piece of plastic really resonate and be relevant for many people globally throughout the ages. One of the things that we've done to make that relevancy is basically to build stories, to create narratives, to create characters that people can love and they can connect with, and then they connect with the Lego brick. That is our creativity, that is the company's imagination that comes to life, and that really resonates with a lot of people. But what's really more important, and what I think is actually making the company and the product feel relevant, that is the millions and millions of images, videos, animations that consumers, fans, parents, and kids are uploading online every single day. So if we look at what we create compared to what the crowd is creating, then it's 1 to 20. So every time we upload a video, 20 videos are uploaded on YouTube by the crowd and by the community. So basically, we are the most digital engaged brand, and also on YouTube specifically, we are competing against Red Bull, Clash of Clans, about being the #1 brand on YouTube. But today we are actually the #1 brand on a good day, which is typically Saturday. That's when kids are watching most YouTube. We have 32 years of watch time on YouTube. 3.5 million subscribers, and we also have a platform and a studio team that is producing every single day. So our goal has not been to be the best at social media, but really to be the best at adapting to, predicting, and creating digital change in the landscape. So making sure that is actually the strategic competency that we're developing. We don't want to be the best at building Facebook tab applications, as that was a hot thing 5 years ago. We don't want to be the best at doing a tweet in 140 characters, because that's going to change, already has changed. But we want to be the best at adapting to the change and leveraging the change that we know is going to happen in so many areas of the business. If you experience disruption, and if you've also seen your colleagues experiencing disruption, then you can see you can act in different ways to it. Some people, they just ignore it. The other way to do it is to catch up, to try to react to it. When you see the change, you try to catch up as quickly as possible, and it takes a lot of courage and a lot of manpower to have that reaction. Then you can try to predict and embrace change, and then finally you can try to create it. I think it's about the mindset that you have. And when we think about the mindset that we have in Lego and the industry that we want to work in, we need to get inspired by the kids. Kids is the main source of inspiration that we have. And I think one of the challenges is that a child's imagination is often seen as just a passing phase of childhood that has little to do with real learning and real value. And in the education system that we have, we basically educate the imagination out of children, because we don't think and we don't recognize that it has a real role to play in the real world. So to be real disruptors, we need to be completely open-minded to things. We need to be able to think like kids, and we actually need to bring our imagination to life and see what our ideas actually look like in the real world. And I think we need to really look at kids and take inspiration from them. One of the ways and one of the cases that we've had and one of the challenges we've had is this whole disruption about social, so going from open social media to closed social media. We created a focus. I think that's really important when you work with creativity and you work with business challenges. You need to focus. You can't just disrupt everything. You can't just be creative about everything. You need to have a focus. So we said, this is our challenge. We're going to play around with 3 different things. We're going to play around with bots, we're going to play around with stickers, and we're going to play around with GIFs. But basically took us 3 weeks to develop a whole repository of new emoticons, stickers. So we were one of the first brands actually to work with Facebook on developing stickers in this way. It gives us a complete control over the brand's expression, but also gives us access to the private conversations that we can't even pay our way into. Still today, we see daily 6 to 7 million stickers with Lego being shared every single day. So we work with the Russian media platform called VK, VKontakte, And it's basically a Facebook clone, but they have a different way of working with their creative assets. So we did that in Russia and had 750,000 downloads in 5 hours. We broke the entire record for the whole platform. And then we also implemented that on our own platform. There's a social media platform for kids called Lego Life. Then we went on to GIFs and partnered up with Giphy. And Giphy is the pipeline into all of the different experiences as Facebook Messenger, iOS messengers, so on. So now we have 1.2 billion views of Lego content on the GIF platforms, either in Messenger chats or on the platform specifically. One important thing, if you want to play, is the culture behind it. It's about empowerment. You can't tell people to play, you can't direct them to play, you can't tell them how to play. You need to empower them to actually do it. You also need to bring in diversity, and then of course being very agile in the way that you work. I don't like micromanagement, it takes a ton of time, but in the process and in the journey that we've been on, we've also experienced that culture and the middle management culture has been one of the challenges, that we need to work with people to make sure that when we empower the frontline people, that we also explain why we do it and the benefits of doing this to the middle management that's actually losing kind of the hands-on control of the operation. One of the things in culture is diversity. I think it's very easy to be disrupted if you are sitting 20 people in a room with the exact same background, the same cultural background, the same educational background and so on. It's very easy to be blindsided then. So you need to bring in a lot of diversity. So when it all comes together, our work week looks like this. So typically, a Monday is play day. So these are pictures from basically playtime in the office, ideation on a new content idea. Sometimes we bring in designers, like Lego designers, who build together with us. Tuesday, we do the shooting. We have a studio in London, in the office. We also have a bigger studio 10 minutes away. We go there, in-house teams, shoot. Typically Tuesday night or Tuesday, very late night, we do the editing. And Wednesday, we go to publish on the relevant channels. Then we take all the data on Thursdays and make the evaluation. Should we amp up the media spend? Should we localize on to different markets? Should we move this from Facebook to Instagram stories to another format? And then Friday we collect all of the data, crunch the data, and make the decisions on where to change and how to change the next Monday. And then we go for drinks. I'm really not a fan of the word a campaign, and I'm not a fan of all of the military terms in targeting, pinpointing, because I think if you want to leverage the creative power of the crowds, you need to create a stage for them. You need to invite them onto a stage, incentivize them basically to be performers. They don't want to be targeted and pinpointed by you. That 98% of us in this room, we were creative geniuses at the age of 3. You haven't educated your mind, you're narrowing your mind down to specific categories of ways that you can think. The sad story is that only 2% of us have retained those levels of creativity today. And that's a story that basically from the age of 3, your creativity levels are basically going down. From the age of 25, it's completely flatlining. So we wanted to celebrate with this project, we wanted to celebrate and reveal that creative potential of kids. So we basically asked kids, different parents, and so different kids from different backgrounds, we just asked them one question. Can you build a Cronky Wonky? Anyone knows what a Cronky Wonky is? No? And that's because we're not 3 anymore. We also asked at that point, we asked Twitter, we asked Instagram, Wikipedia, and even Google. Even with all of their technology, they did not know what a Cronky was. But then we asked kids. The result was amazing, but hugely effective and efficient campaign, really delivering on mobile specifically. And what we really like to see is all of the images that were uploaded afterwards on all of the different platforms. And that's what really makes the value for us, seeing kids putting Lego bricks in their hands and building something that is in their minds. And then we saw the results. Ton of unpaid influencers basically starting to share, starting to build, starting to create Cronky Wonkies all over the world. If you want to survive disruptions, you need to focus on being the best at adapting to, predicting, creating change around your areas of competencies. That is the only way to actually build that sustainability and lower the risk of being disrupted. We need to think like kids. We need to create an agile culture with a focus on diversity and empowerment. And finally, we need to leverage the creative power of the crowds, because the creative power of the crowd is so much bigger than our own. Thank you.